Welcome back to Music Kingdom. We've had requests for Nightwish, Iron Maiden, Metallica, Opeth, Black Sabbath, so on and so forth, reviews that we've done. Well, this time around, a review that absolutely nobody asked for, one of the great pieces of art since Rachmaninoff. In this video, we will be listening to, giving a music theory breakdown for, and reviewing Rockstar by Nickelback. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, my name is Francis. If you are a fellow nerd for music such as myself and you appreciate more than just reactions but in-depth reviews and analysis of songs, click the like button and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you'd like to support the work I put into these videos, you'll find Music Kingdom's Patreon and other affiliate links in the description below. Alright, whether you are or are not a fan of Nickelback, this video is no different. Before we give the song a listen, first let's briefly talk Rockstar by Nickelback. Rockstar was the fifth single from Nickelback's fifth studio album titled All the Right Reasons, released in 2005. To my knowledge, it is the band's first album with former Three Doors Down drummer Daniel Adair, and it is the album that once upon a time topped the Canadian Albums Chart and the US Billboard 200, selling 11 million copies worldwide, making it Nickelback's best-selling album to date. The album All the Right Reasons was certified diamond in 2017 because it had sold 7.96 million copies in the United States alone, also making it one of the best-selling albums of all time in the United States. And I've got to be honest, if there are any fellow music historians out there watching this video, that is not easy to do. That is actually very commendable and impressive. Now, regarding the song Rockstar, it is easily one of Nickelback's most popular songs ever made, peaking at number 2 in the United Kingdom and being certified platinum. In the United States alone, the song Rockstar has sold 4.5 million copies. What's interesting about Rockstar to me as well is its reception. Critically speaking, it was actually a mixed bag, which is not uncommon in the music industry. However, it is such extremes, right? Because some of the critics really praised it and put it as one of their best songs ever, and then on the other hand, a lot of people, critics included, feel that it is one of the worst songs ever made. Now, if you're asking me subjectively, what I will say is I have never really explored the catalog of Nickelback, so I'm not going to be someone who says they suck or says they're amazing, because that would be the literal definition of being intentionally ignorant. However, do I know every single word to the song Rockstar? My personal opinion of the song, as someone who pretentiously listens to 11-minute pieces of jazz, is neither here nor there. But as you know, on this channel we analyze songs, we grade songs, and we arrive at an overall score. And I am very excited to see what it gets because I've never really listened to this song with a critical ear. So at long last, it's time we give the song a listen, and just a heads up, I will pause once to share my thoughts, but ultimately to avoid any copyright strikes. And as usual, be sure to stick around after the song for a music theory breakdown from our expert, and then yes, we will divide the song into specific categories, grading them each, averaging them out, and arriving at an overall score. I swear to God, I'm gonna have to try my hardest not to sing every single word.
I'm through with standing in line, the clubs I'll never get in. It's like the bottom of the ninth, and I'm never gonna win this. Life hasn't turned out quite the way I
just gets you from the start, doesn't it?
Tell me what you
or maybe it doesn't, I don't know.
I want a brand new house on an episode of Cribs, and a bathroom I can play baseball in, and a king-size tub big enough for 10 plus me. For what you need, I'll need a credit card that's got no limit.
I'm trying to listen to it with a critical ear, you know? But it's so hard. It does have a more solid production than I thought. And it flows very well.
So how you gonna do it? I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even cut my hair and change my name. Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses driving 15 cars.
The way the chorus hits you, amazing.
Well, I'll stay skinny cause we just won't eat and we'll hang out in the coolest bars.
Honestly, vocals are, he's belting quite a bit. And the scratch. Gotta be serious. Thoughts so far. Sometimes I think about music the way I think about food, and hear me out. So, let's say classical music or jazz music, for example, would be vegetables. Solid music, a bit more listenable, a bit more accessible, would be your meat and potatoes. And then you've got junk food or fast food. No one is saying it's good for you, but damn it, sometimes you just want a burger. And that is how I would describe not just a song like this, but in the general sense, more popular mainstream radio hit music, especially of today. And to be honest, I'm having way too much fun enjoying this song instead of listening to it with a critical ear that I have absolutely no idea how I'm gonna grade it later. But right now, I don't care.
I wanna be great like Elvis without the tassels. Hire 8 bodyguards that love to beat up assholes. Sign a couple autographs so I can eat my meals for free. I have the quesadilla. I'm gonna dress my
even the writing, you
with
know,
the latest fashion. Get a front door key to the Playboy mansion. Gonna
just
date a
flows.
Santa phone that loves to blow my money for me.
Now I can't imagine that the composition is gonna be that amazing. I have no idea how I'm gonna score this, even still.
Even cut my hair and change my name. Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses, driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. Well, I'll stay skinny cause we just won't eat. And we'll hang out in the coolest bars and the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna
I don't feel like I'm working right now. You know, I feel like I'm just having fun. It's hard to like focus.
The latest dictionary of today's zoo. They'll get you anything with that evil smile. Everybody's got a drug dealer on speed dial. Well, hey, I wanna be a rock star. I'm gonna sing those songs that offend.
I forgot how smoothly it transitions into the bridge, and how solid the bridge is.
Washed up singers writing all my songs. Lip sync 'em every night so I don't get 'em wrong. Well, we all
I need
just
to-
wanna be
I need to
big
compose
rock stars
myself.
and
I'm
live in
reviewing music
hilltop
right now.
houses, driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. We'll all stay skinny cause we just won't eat. And we'll hang out in the coolest bars and the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind
It's too difficult.
Every playboy bunny with a bleached blonde hair. And we'll
I don't even feel like I'm making a video right now.
rooms with the latest dictionary of today's zoo. They'll get you anything with that evil smile. Everybody's got a drug dealer on speed dial. Well, hey,
This has to be one of the
I wanna
most
be a
fun
rock star.
songs I've reviewed.
Hey, I wanna be a rock star.
Art. Alright, initial thoughts before we go to the expert's corner for a composition score and before we break apart the song grading it. Subjectively speaking, I did have to fix my hair. Objectively speaking, it certainly is not in the realm of some other songs I've reviewed on this channel that get very, very high scores. But to play devil's advocate, I do think there is something to be said with how viral, I suppose, this song became, and with the enjoyment that a lot of people derive from this song, whether they claim to like it or not, whether they claim to like Nickelback or not. You play this song, you'd be surprised how many people sing along to every word. So no level of musical snobbery or ignorance is going to stop me from at least acknowledging that about the song. All that said, at this point, I do have much more specific thoughts, more objective thoughts that I will get to when I break apart the song and give it a score. But first, let's go to the expert's corner for a music theory breakdown and to see how he grades the song's composition.
Welcome to the Experts Corner. This is Rockstar by Nickelback, and I'm here to give it a composition score. This song is in the time signature of 4/4, and in my opinion, it's in the key of G major. The reason I say in my opinion is because it's not really clear what key this song is in. In fact, if you Google it, you'll find 3 different answers: G major, C major, or B flat major. The reason it's so hard to tell is because even though G major does feel like home in this song, the other chords that are being played are so out of character for a song that's in the key of G major. In the verses, the chords being played sound like they fit C major better, and in the choruses they sound like they fit B flat major better. The people in the G major camp would just say that it's G played in different modes, Mixolydian, Aeolian. It's really getting into the weeds, but that's where I would stand. In these situations, I really don't think there's a right answer or a wrong answer. People go crazy fighting about keys for songs. I've been in a few of them, and I don't think it's worth it. Just call it whatever you want. All of that being said, the chord progressions are pretty simple. Let me play you the chorus. You've got G, G major. You got B flat major, C major, E flat major, F major, repeat. So this is actually one of very few songs that I actually knew for quite a while before giving my expert's take. And my first thought when I found out we were doing this one was, well, I'm pretty sure it's just 4 repeating chords. It's probably not going to score very high on the composition end, but I was kind of wrong. While it is very simple, all the verses have the exact same repeating chord progression, all of the choruses have the exact same repeating chord progression. They are very cool chord progressions. In the key of G major, you aren't used to seeing B flats and E flats or Fs. I think that gives its composition a lot of originality despite how simple it is. So weighing all that, I've decided to give this song a 6.5 out of 10. Back to you, Francis.
A very special thank you to our expert for providing a music theory breakdown and giving the song's composition a 6.5 out of 10. Honestly, much higher than I was anticipating. Honestly, before filming, I would have guessed maybe a 3, a 4, or a 5. But hey, he is the expert for a reason. And now it's time to break apart the song into 4 more categories, grading them each, averaging them out, and arriving at an overall score. Starting off with the category of production specifically. Also, once again, better than I was expecting because, as mentioned, I'd never really listened to this song with critical ears. I will be giving this song's production a solid 6 out of 10. Is it a masterclass of how to produce a song? Absolutely not. However, there was more effort and creativity than I remembered. I could have sworn I heard little touches of organ here and there, and then being playful, for example, when they mention a jet, you hear the sound of a jet. You've also got the production decision of that spoken word bit between the verses by Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top. Things like that, in addition to being pretty polished and well put together. But then again, being polished and well put together should be the standard for a solid production, not anything necessarily to applaud. And the playfulness with the sound effects and stuff like that doesn't necessarily mean brilliance or artistic vision either. Up next, we've got the category of vocals, and just subjectively speaking, I'm kind of a fan. Look at this graph! But let's be serious, honestly. Was it Ronnie James Dio? Was it Michael Jackson? Was it Whitney Houston? Was it Freddie Mercury? Absolutely not. However, was it a bad vocal delivery? No. He's got the vibrato, he's got the scratch, and in the bridge of the song, when he kind of loses that vocal grit, he has a pretty voice. And so with all that said, I'm giving the vocals in this song a good 7 out of 10. And again, higher than I expected. Okay, moving right along, we have the category of lyrics. And are the lyrics superficial? Absolutely. Are the lyrics materialistic? 100%. Are the lyrics hedonistic? Most certainly. But hear me out. In spite of the subject matter of the lyrics, I would say they are actually very well written. They flow seamlessly, which is very hard to do. They rhyme effortlessly, which is also very hard to do. And while it's obviously not poetry, and yes, of course, as mentioned, the subject matter is what it is, honestly, it's good writing. I would actually argue great writing. And so with that said, I will have it reflected by a score of an 8 out of 10. Alright, arriving at our final category of originality, this is the one that has given me the most trouble trying to figure out for the song Rockstar by Nickelback. And my logic is this. For example, Firth of Fifth by Genesis or 2112 by Rush would probably get very high originality scores for their complexity, their creativity, so on and so forth. And on the flip side to that, songs like Hotel California or Frank Sinatra's My Way or Billie Jean would also get very high originality scores, even though they're not necessarily the most creative or musically complex. So, back to Rockstar by Nickelback. My thoughts regarding its originality were at first that it's kind of like the Natty Light version of Wanted Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi. But on the other hand, as mentioned earlier, so many people know this song. This is an extraordinarily famous song, and as also mentioned earlier, people who claim to hate Nickelback or this song will simultaneously love when it comes on and will sing every word. So in terms of, call it cultural significance, significance, which is evident. I would actually say this is a fairly original song. They did create something that, for better or worse, would undeniably become part of the soundtrack to everyone's lives. All that said, I will be giving this song's originality a good 7 out of 10. So now if we add it all up, including the expert's composition score, and average it out, Rockstar by Nickelback from their 5th studio album titled All the Right Reasons, released in 2005, gets a fair 6.9 out of 10. I've gotta say, I feel a little bit guilty and or sacrilegious because we have reviewed more musically genius, complex songs on this channel that have landed in the 7s, which of course is good, just not quite great. But in total transparency, if you would have asked me what the song is getting before I ever filmed this video and really listened to it with the proper ears, I would have guessed a much lower score, as I'm sure many of you were probably expecting as well. But after having broken it down and spelling it out, for me especially, and for you guys watching this, it does make sense why at least I would arrive at this final song score. And I had a lot of fun doing it, but as always, let me know in the comments below whether I am right on the money, batshit crazy, or somewhere in between. And honestly, because of how much fun I did have reviewing this song, in the comments below as well, let me know what other songs that you love to hate, good or bad, you would like for this channel to review next. If any of you watching this absolutely despise Nickelback, I apologize if I pissed you off. And on the flip side, if any of you watching this video are actually fans of Nickelback, hopefully I did them some justice as well. As always, if you are a fellow nerd for music such as myself, click the like button and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you'd like to support the work I put into these videos, you'll find Music Kingdom's Patreon and other affiliate links in the description below. This has been another edition of Music Kingdom. Thank you so much for listening with me, and I'll look forward to jamming with you in the next one.